In an effort to unify and connect people on a deeper level,
we bring you a show that will feel more like family. We are your girls, the Dreamcatchers.
Like-minded ladies
join forces to open up about our personal issues
and share stories
in the hopes that you feel a little bit less alone.
I'm Jessica, an Ohio-raised Midwest tomboy who isn't afraid to be honest about my struggles with anxiety or life in general.
I'm Charlie, a UK wild child turned introspective free spirit. I've recruited my best girlies to create a show where we can encourage, empower, and hopefully entertain. Our goal is to inspire, challenge your perspective, and to together learn to love ourselves exactly the way we are and to live our lives out loud. Welcome to the Dreamcatchers.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Dreamcatchers. We have a special guest today.
Very special.
Her name is Wright. You may know her from Towie or The Only Way is Essex. She is an entrepreneur, a singer. She's kind of a jack of all trades. So we're gonna get right into it.
And a master of none. No, I'm only joking.
You're probably right. So Jess, I want to start off. The one thing that I noticed about you on Towie is you're a really big family girl. And we're all kind of really big on family. We're all very close. Tell us a bit about
your relationship with family.
Your relationships and how it's kind of maybe kept you grounded throughout that whole process.
Absolutely. Like, I think first and foremost, the show was very much based on different families. And I think the reason they did that is because everyone can relate to that pretty much. And for me and my family, like, family is huge. Like, I think in the end, they're everything. If you've got your family, then it doesn't matter. So like, for me it's huge, and like, being a part of that show was incredible. I had so much fun. It was up, it was down, it was 5 years of basically putting my personal life on television.
Wow.
For everyone to see.
How did you feel about that? What was it? Did you just make a choice, like, right, I'm going to choose to be vulnerable, expose myself?
I always wanted to sing, and I saw it as an avenue to get some publicity and to get noticed.
Smart.
And it kind of worked. I released a single and it charted and everything. But like, I feel like it was just an amazing opportunity for that, and then it ended up evolving into just something that became my everyday life.
Wow.
Which I love, but it was really daunting because obviously every relationship I was in, there wasn't loads. I mean, the one relationship I was in,
the boyfriends,
was obviously broadcasted, and like, it was scary, but it was kind of fun. And then in the end, you kind of owe it to the viewers for them to see what happens in your relationship, because they've been there since the beginning. They're there from the minute I got with, like, a guy, and then they want to know what happens, why we're not happy, or what's happened between us that might be going wrong. Like, you just kind of do. And then from there, I left the show 2 years ago, and since then I've got a clothing range which I've had for 5 years, which is
called.
It's a clothing range with Love Jessica, and I'm in collaboration with Sister Glam, and we basically we're in retail stores all over the UK, which is really great. Cool. And then like, my recent thing is a fitness program, which I think all women definitely are into at the minute. Fitness has gone from, like, here to here in the last few years.
So what was the transition from, so you ended the show, you have your brand, your boutique, which I looked at your clothes online, very cute, by the way. Lots of different body styles, I love that. So what's the transition then from, you're off the show, and now where did that passion transition into fitness?
So it's very interesting. I was actually in the US last year, and I got pictured from a hotel room. They'd obviously hired the room just to, like, take photos of me in my bikini, and I was a little bit, like, heavier than I am now. I hadn't been going to the gym, and I was in 113 degrees heat in a very bad light.
Wow.
So, and very hungover in Vegas. Like 3 hours sleep straight out
combination
to the pool.
there.
Yeah, the combination was vile. It couldn't have been worse, the circumstances. Anyway, I got pictured, and the pictures went everywhere, and I was just destroyed. I was like, so I woke up in LA. I was out here, like, working, and I was on my own, and I woke up, and obviously the time difference in London is 8 hours, so they had their whole day of seeing these pictures.
Oh
and I woke
no,
up
so you were
to-
like,
you woke up to like a million messages.
literally, like, messages and articles, and I was
I can only imagine.
devastated.
That's
Like,
awful.
Why were you devastated? Was it, that's not a representation of me, that's intrusive, you felt
Both.
judged, or
violated, everything. So I decided to make a positive out of how I felt at that time, which I was like, I bet women always feel this way, which is like, slightly uncomfortable sitting around the pool, like, and I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. And I don't get me wrong, I looked fine, and a lot of people are like, you look great, so what are you worrying about?
But it's you, though.
It was
how
just
you
for
feel.
me.
I
felt like I didn't feel my best, and I could have been doing more. So I did a fitness program, and the fitness program I did is for women exactly like me that are just normal bodies that kind of just want to make the best of it. So not go from a size 24 down to a size 16. It's someone who wants to just basically tone up from head to toe and feel and look their best and be strong and fit, opposed to like skinny or like size 0 or
just getting back to their natural shape, but very just fit and healthy.
So it's a 7-week program, and when you purchase the box, it basically comes with a fit ball and resistance bands, and you use the equipment throughout the workout.
Oh, so you pack it, it's all packaged up.
It's all packaged into a box.
Great.
Yes, it's great.
And then get that.
It's
number 11.
Yeah, it's 25 minutes 5 times a week, and it basically goes throughout the whole area of your body. So you do your arms, your torso, your abs, your bum, your legs, and some cardio.
I honestly am gonna have to get that.
And it's transformed my body, like, hopefully for the better. I've got like biceps and a few abs. And yes.
And I think on the emotional side of it, not just physical, what has it done for you in terms of confidence, vitality, like, because I think that's such a big part of exercise.
Absolutely. And for me, like, mental health is so important these days. Obviously it's a very taboo, it used to be a very taboo subject, it's huge now, and so personally for me it really helped me in that area, and so I can't express that more, like, to get fit and to kind of work out at least 5 times a week is so good for your mental health and your energy.
So where do you find, when you don't work out, but you want to, where do you find the motivation, A, to start, and B, to stick with it? Because I think sometimes I'll get really excited. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick with it. But I get impatient. So if I don't see changes like
the
a
next
week,
day,
I'm done.
So this is what
I'm
happens to me.
exhausted.
I do that too. I go to the
same.
gym the next day. I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Does 20 sit-ups and you're like, I haven't got abs.
Right.
I basically did plateau like about halfway through, or 3 weeks into the program. It's a 7-week program. And I said to my trainer who was doing it with me, because we did the program together, she was like, you have got to be patient. She was like, diet is obviously a big part of it as well, and I had to be better. Like, I love going out with my friends. I'm single. I love to socialise.
You're a foodie.
I am a foodie. I love my food, and I love the odd tipple. So I had to cut down a lot, but it's a case of sticking with it and knowing that if you don't give up, you will get results. You've got to have willpower, and you've got to just go for it and believe. Like, you've got to believe that you can do it. For me, exercise first thing in the day, but the good thing about this program is if people work full-time in an office, you can come home from work, it's 25 minutes, just have the DVD in the DVD player, have your equipment there, and just literally be like, come on. I mean, I sometimes I wake up and do it in my pants that I wore to bed, like my little knickers and like a vest.
Can all ages do it? Like, any it's not...
Absolutely,
No,
and
Jess, it's
gender.
only for under 50s.
Well, no, because I noticed on your website, like, there wasn't, you're not doing heavy squats, so, like, maybe an older woman or,
Absolutely, and you can go at your own pace. Like, we're there to set a precedence, and then you can go at your own pace.
I don't know how it is in England, but I know especially in Los Angeles, there's such a quick fix these days in terms of all sorts of like surgeries that you can do and all these different things. So what would you say to someone that's kind of like, well, I could work out and do this, or I could
get liposuction?
Yes, particularly I know in America, it kind of feels like, oh man, it seems so easy to maybe just go do something like that.
Scarily easy.
I mean, you can go and do that, that's fine, but like, I'm going back again to the mental thing. Like, for me, exercise is so good for releasing like any stress, and lifting you up, starting you off for the day, giving you energy, and making yourself feel like you've achieved something. Like, after the workout,
you feel
it feels
because
so
you've
good.
done something, invested in you.
And like, you get through this workout, you're sweating, and you're like, yes, I've actually done something. And like I said, it's not about just losing weight and trimming down. It's about feeling strong and fit and having biceps and like having shape like
and
in
does
your
that
arms.
make you feel more, even as a woman, like, does it make you feel just empowered generally?
Absolutely.
Like, strong and
Yes,
grand?
and it's like, I've achieved this.
I need to start doing that.
Yeah, because it's like, I've achieved this, and it's like, yes, I feel strong. I've got, in certain light, you've got like muscles here and there that you didn't have before. And I don't know if you could achieve that with liposuction. I mean,
probably. I mean, it gets rid of the fat, but it doesn't create muscle. Like,
No.
definition.
Yeah, you
that
couldn't get that with
strength, that
liposuction.
tone, that's shape that you need to earn.
What things really spiral you? Like, I have my things, we have our things that make you angry, insecure, upset. I kind of wanted to touch on maybe your insecurities, if you were happy to share.
yeah,
What
absolutely.
gets you?
Being around negative energy as well, like people with negative energy, or like angry people. I don't like that. And then, like, people who judge and people that put others down and say like, oh, you haven't got a chance or whatever. It's like, I believe if you want to do something, you can do it, and if you put your mind to it, you can do anything, and I won't give up until I get there.
Yeah, I can tell you're that kind of girl.
Yeah.
It can be very frustrating though.
Negativity through like social media, because
Internet
such a
trolls.
large
Do
platform.
you know what? No, not really. I don't really care. there's so many bad comments on articles online about everyone. If I sit and hone in about the ones that, like about me, then it'll get me really down. But I kind of just try and brush it off. I grew up in a family where we're very, very not critical of each other, but we're very, like, we lift each other up, but we also tell each other the negatives, and we're very real. So I kind of just get on with it.
They really are just, I remember after Big Brother, I thought I'd be so affected by negative comments because I take everything so personally and I'm really
I'm quite
sensitive.
sensitive. Me too.
But surprisingly, there was tons of shitty comments about how boring I am. And I was just kind of like, oh well, I don't know, I just didn't mind. I thought I would, but I was just kind of blocked. I was just like, oh, they just feel that way about yourself.
Do you know what I think it is? If someone I'm close to tells me something about it, that will really affect me, and I will want to be better. But if I see it from someone who I don't know, I'm a bit like, oh, go away. I think life is all about building others up, and it's about negative. Like, I grew up where I was kind of, it sounds ridiculous, but I was in a family where everyone was beautiful, and I wasn't really. I was a bit of the one that's like, not that it's about looks, but I kind of was always looking at they were all very, very and I wasn't. I was
wow, if you're not, I can't wait to see what the rest of this family looks like.
No, but I kind of was, I was a bit of an ugly duckling. I wasn't ugly, but I was just a bit plain, I guess. And I feel like maybe,
as a kid, maybe?
As a child,
Like, I don't get it.
I'm like, I need to...
When did you feel this way?
I don't believe it.
I just was at one point. But I feel like sometimes those insecurities can grow up with you, and I think they did when you deal with them. And like, it's a case of dealing with any issues that you have, which can be difficult. We're women. I mean, Jesus, our emotions are up and down. We have hormones. God. We have lumps and bumps and cellulite that men don't necessarily get. Like,
and we're expected to like
cameraman's
like all the time.
We have to carry children. We have to give birth. I mean, we have to deal with men. Jesus, we have it hard.
It's a lot. Like, how do you find balance? It seems like you do have this entrepreneurial spirit, and you're doing so many things, and it's really inspiring. How do you find balance, time for yourself, self-care? Like, how do you
going
make it
out
all
for
work?
dinner and just letting loose, going out partying,
like
watching box sets, glass of wine, going to the gym, just being normal.
I love it. Most people are like, look in the mirror, do some self-love. She's like, just gonna have a good time.
Why?
Because that's true, actually. Because anything that releases you, anything that makes you feel good, whether it is looking in the mirror, affirmations, meditation, or dinner, whatever it is that gives you that happiness, I guess.
I've got a group of friends who've been together since we were, some of us 2 and 3 and then 7. And we're still best friends, and we talk every day on our group on like WhatsApp, and I think that grounds me. Like, we'll meet up, and then I'm like, this is all I needed, a bit of real
boosting
learning.
or love or learning.
Exactly.
With body image?
Yeah.
Because it starts, from what I've noticed, really young. Like, younger than we think, maybe 12, 13.
And I think younger now with like social media and everything you're exposed to.
It's a bit worrying, isn't it, to be honest?
What advice would you give to those young girls, or who are struggling with maybe body dysmorphia, or just that coming of age where you're so uncomfortable in your skin?
I feel like huge in the last year is like self-love is such an issue, and I think I definitely didn't used to have that at all, and I think I've gained that over time. And I think
daily, are you still working on it?
Absolutely, 100%. But I think with girls and social media, like growing up, I didn't have Instagram, like nothing like that. We all didn't so I think it's really hard for them to get trapped in that world of like Victoria's Secret models and size 0 and like
constantly rubbing it in their face.
And I do worry about that. So I think it's about taking yourself away from social media sometimes and seeing what's real and just
only
getting
using
out
it for the right, like using it as a tool for when you need it or want to promote something or want to connect with the world, but not to obsessively look over
and
it.
Like I do. So much of it is like airbrushed or fake, and I think a lot of women have come out and they're really upset when they're cover girls and they just think that's not my body.
We do need to like do something about this whole like every app you can airbrush and Photoshop on, and then like Instagram. Like, unfortunately, there's going to be this generation of girls that grow up thinking this is real, and we didn't grow up in that generation. And I think we need to try and help them, because that's not going to be healthy.
Absolutely.
Like, our own daughters are going to have that, and we need to.
It's scary.
I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but I know so many like really beautiful, boring people, and it's like they've never had to try hard with their personality because they just got everywhere through their looks. And then actually, in the end, no offense, but that's not everything. Like, it's about like charisma and like personality and energy,
kindness, spirit.
And I'd rather be with someone who isn't beautiful but hilarious every day of like the week than be with someone who's like perfect and has 0 personality.
We had this chat. We were saying this a few weeks ago. I always say that when I meet someone that's gorgeous, or whatever, obviously they're attractive, but I always fall for the people that I'm like, to start with, I don't even notice them in that way. And I hang out with them, I'm like, oh, he's hilarious. And then suddenly they become attractive and then gorgeous. And now they're like the most stunning human being, facially and inside out in the world.
I always fall in love with like the hilarious,
Yeah.
not so good looking, charismatic,
Yes,
kind
and
guy,
then become
opposed to
gorgeous.
the picture perfect, annoying,
Yeah.
boring arsehole.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's all
you're
about
perfect
connection
guy.
with someone.
What
It's
would
all
it
about
look like?
connection, and
Yeah.
I want someone who's a family guy, who's funny, and has the similar interests to me. But I'm extremely fussy and also very focused on my
What are
career.
you fussy about though? What won't you tolerate?
I'm anything like I'm not so much
Oh,
fussy.
dear.
I just no.
I won't tolerate anything.
No, I'm not. It's not that I won't tolerate anything. It's about, I think, connection, and that's all I care about. Like,
Yeah.
there could be a guy who's perfect on paper, but if I don't have that connection
Don't
and,
feel it.
and feel it, then I just write them off. And also,
Yeah.
I'm very focused on my career. I think maybe too focused, and quite independent and happy on my own. It's going to have to take someone that I really
Strong
have
guy.
a connection
And
with,
that really
that
is
I can let in.
Complimentary and really like just enhances your life. not
Yeah,
takes
because I always
away.
had guys that weren't enhancing my life. They were taking a lot away from me in terms of confidence. So I think, yeah, I need someone who builds me up opposed to pulls me down.
and supports your career.
Yeah.
Because if you're a very driven woman, you have to have a man that is really understanding about that.
Who's not intimidated by, who wants to
Yeah.
rise up, not
Not
kind of
keep
compete
you
with
back or
you.
compete with you,
yeah.
yeah.
It is so hard finding someone. Like,
It is, but they're out there.
It's just when you're minding your own business, I always find, and you're just doing your thing, and you finally surrender to not having a man,
yeah.
and then, bam, they rock up on your doorstep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Or in your acting
Is there
class.
any new venture that you're focused on? So you have the boutique, you have the fitness program that you created. Are you gonna continue pursuing singing, maybe acting?
I feel like I love acting. I did it growing up, and I love hosting. So I kind of want to
great.
do that over here. I love being here, and I'd love to live here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I wanted to ask you if there's anything you would like to say to the viewers that, again, if you could give them some insight or some confidence or encouragement, anything, any wise words from you that you would like to share.
I think the best, the best, yeah, the best power you
The two of
have.
them that we have.
The best power you have is being you, and just own it. Just confidence, be yourself, and keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
Absolutely,
Keep
yeah.
the faith.
Always keep the faith.
Love it. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for
Jess.
having me. I really
Guys,
enjoyed it.
why don't tell our viewers where they could find
yeah.
you? Give us your plug away.
Okay, so my Insta is JessWright77, and yeah, everything's on there basically.
Perfect.
And the clothing line and the fitness is all on there as well.
Yes. The websites are all on there. I won't bore you with the details.
I loved having
thank
you.
you
We
so
really
much.
enjoyed having you.
Thank
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well,
Right,
until
dreamers.
next time, dreamers.
See you next week. Bye.